GOAT, of course, is the newest animated movie that came out recently I don't know what kind of reviews because it's early access. So, of course, I got the opportunity to watch it. They were playing it on, like, the local AMC 1 week early. So, I get to talk about it before most people can, so hopefully this is up to people's taste. But because of that, don't worry, we'll get to the review soon. I got some cool gear. A jersey, of course, Will Harris, obviously the GOAT and the main character of the movie. It's for kids, so obviously I can't wear it, but, can just hang this up there, and you never know. That might be the move. Also, some bags. A bag. Not bad. Can it hold anything? It can hold my headphones. It doesn't have a handle, though, but it can hold my headphones. A foam finger. Not bad either. Could just put some display up here. You know how it is. And, of course, another kid thing. That being an arm sleeve. Obviously, me being a grown-ass man, it's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe if I wear it more often, it's gonna, stretch out a little bit more. But besides that, obviously, the movie, of course, people are saying is a basic movie, right? A clear underdog story, obviously, that being Will Harris, being the GOAT, obviously. A play on the actual GOAT, obviously GOAT's acronym for greatest of all time, also associated with the animal, and of course Will Harris is in fact the GOAT, but in this universe, being a GOAT, not the best, right? And obviously in this universe, it's not called basketball, it's called Roarball, which is also the name of the organization that regulates Roarball, but that's besides the point. Will Harris joins the struggling Thorns team, his hometown team. Obviously, as you can tell how obviously cliche the movie is, they end up winning it all, obviously. There's a lot of goofy characters, but the biggest thing is the animation. Obviously, a lot of the marketing this was from the creators who made Across the Spider-Verse, and I'm pretty sure K-Pop Demon Hunter, so you obviously know that the animation is great, right? And obviously, one of the biggest downsides to the movie is basic, right? But at the end of the day, being basic does not hinder a movie from being great. So, let's talk about it. Obviously, the clear underdog, Will Harris. His biggest disadvantage is his size. He's considered a small guy in the league, right? Although he has top-tier shooting, top-tier handling, basically all his other attributes are basically maxed out. His IQ on the field is unparalleled, obviously. But size wins all, especially in this type of version of Roarball. Obviously, Roarball, this one's a more physical type of sport where they drive to the rim. Dunking is basically the main form of shooting. Don't get me wrong, there are some people that be shooting three-pointers and other things, just be shooting mid jumpers or what they call it. But that's not the main way of scoring in this universe, and obviously Will Harris has to overcome that, right? But that's basically pretty much, not that's all it for Will Harris, but that's basically his main thing, right? And the struggling Thorns team obviously has a good player, that being Jet Fillmore. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's a Panther in this universe, considered the best in the league, but is surrounded by absolute bums. In other words, the 2018 Cavaliers. But besides that, everyone has to learn to evolve with the game. Obviously, with the introduction of Will Harris, things start to shift, and they're forced to overcome obstacles, obviously. So, the positives and the negatives. The positive. I like the characters. I really like all of them, especially on the Thorns team. That being, of course, Will Harris, obviously. Lenny, the giraffe, played by Stephen Curry. What? The ostrich Olivia. Pretty sure Archie, the rhinoceros. And, of course, my favorite character, Mondo. Mondo is, oh my god, dude, it's hilarious in the movie. I like him. He's just that, weird guy that, if you didn't really know him like that, he would make you uncomfortable. He's basically the type of people that you see on public transport. But he's hilarious. I like him. He's unique. And that's a good positive. Another positive is just the way they play the game, obviously. It basically is basketball. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel. But obviously they do somewhat take advantage of the fact that it's animals, different arenas. Basically, if you ever played Mario Strikers Charge, which you should, it's a very good game, If you ever played that game, GOAT is basically just that. Roarball is basically just Mario Strikers charged. People just it's really physical. Fouls that probably should be fouls are never called. Literally never in the game. You probably should have punched someone in Roarball and they wouldn't call a foul. The arena is obviously everyone knows that most teams, especially like in the NFL, have home field advantage. Obviously, you already know what that means. This is taken to the extreme in Roarball. Well, obviously, the thorns. Their whole arena is covered in, well, thorns. Bunch of shrubbery, thorns, traps players. There's another one in the ice arena, where it's straight up. Most of it's just the floor breaks. The magma team play, which is obviously the antagonistic team, which we'll talk about later. And the ice one, like the floor straight up becomes uneven and they have to, is a big ordeal, right? Another good thing, well, of course, is the animation. Everyone knows that. The animation is absolutely stunning in this movie. The character designs are great. Once again, Mondo is like one of the best guy in the movie. Maybe not the best character to watch, but dude, every time he's on screen, I like him. He's very funny. I like him. He's my favorite character. If they have a character poster of Mondo, it's definitely going right here. The music is not bad either. Not bad at all. Obviously, there's also some other parts of the story, obviously about self-doubt, learning to change, I guess, which we'll talk about later. And for the positive, that kind of just ends there. The story, is nothing unique, it's nothing great, but they know what it is and they do it good. The character designs are great, Mondo especially. The music does good too. Roarball, obviously, once again, not trying to reinvent the wheel, but does really well. The animals, obviously, because this is a world full of animals. Do they do anything unique with that? Not really. It's not like Zootopia where everyone has their own little type of habitat and everything, for the most part. Because then again, the whole point isn't the animals, it's Roarball and obviously Will Harris. So you can't blame them for that. Negatives, the antagonists don't get enough screen time. Obviously, Magma is the team to beat. They have the reigning champion, main attraction, that being a horse. Obviously, the name, very good. Has already won 2 in their universe called Claus. I'm pretty sure it's called Claus. I watched it literally this morning. How can I forget? The Claus, right? He's already a 2-time champion. Obviously, he's seen as the best guy in the league, not only because of his stats, but also because that he wins, right? Because Jet Fillmore technically beats him in stats, but what are stats without results, right? So obviously he's considered the best. He shows up not a lot in the movie. So the first time we see him is when he beats the Thorns. And then first of all, he's very disrespectful. I feel like they could have done a lot more with him. But whatever. It is an hour, like 30 minutes, so I guess they couldn't squeeze in more time. But I feel like they should have squeezed in more time with the antagonist. And he's great. He's a guy that gets in your head. He's physical. He's cocky. So obviously, a cocky, dirty player is really a good antagonist to have, especially in sports. The guy that everyone hates and everything. But he does show up in the Thorns, basically the team or the area. How can I forget the name? Alright, so I thought about it too much. It's Vineland. It's the Vineland Thorns. But basically, that's where Roarball was created, basically. And he goes there to kind of whoop on the locals after whooping on their best player. He shows up there. He has a one-on-one with Will, where he actually shows what he can do. He's, once again, like I said, he's gifted in basically every attribute except size. So he manages to shoot some threes on him. It's a best to 3. He gets 2 on him before getting utterly demolished due to, obviously, his size. Which is a thing in the movie, which I think they probably could have addressed a little bit more. He sucks on defense. Like, dead ass. He sucks on defense. Every other player can steal the ball. They can get physical with them as well. Anytime Will has to defend the guy, he can't. It's basically free points. So that's the thing, right? After that, after the little one-on-one they had, he shows up again to do a diss track on Will. And then after that, he shows up on the end during the championship game. And I feel like they could have done a lot more. They have some more other things like live streaming where he kind of just pops up and basically talks smack to Will. They could have done more with him. I feel like He could have been way better. Another negative is cringy sometimes. Because with the analogies or with the terminology they use with actually yeah with the terminology that they use in this movie, it sounds more like corporate talk than like actual fans talking about the sport. If that makes any sense. You know how fans talk about like, oh, who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan? You get the way they talk about it. It's nowhere near as energetic as is in the movie. So that's something to watch out for. But overall, no, it's a great movie. Great animation. The story's done well. Obviously, there are some deeper things that they show in the movie, which just gets you sad because it's sad. Nothing more to it. His friends are cool. Nothing more to it. His friends are cool. But no, it's a well animated, funny movie. There's really no like dead weight in the cast. The people who you're supposed to hate, you hate for good reason. People that you like for good reason, right? They do everything good. They don't do anything extreme or over the top. But at the end of the day, you're watching animals play basketball. And they do that really well. So at the end of the day, for what you're watching it for, thumbs up. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a great movie. The whole family can watch it. The whole family can enjoy it. Anyone from any age, from non-basketball fans to the hardcore fans. I mean, maybe not the hardcore fans, but you get the point. You get the point. The fans of basketball, I think everyone would get a kick out of this movie. And I'm not saying that just because it's got this cool arm sleeve. Ooh, man, look at that. Oh, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. But besides that, hope you enjoyed this review. Hopefully the movie is just as good as I talk it out to be, because I liked it. Who doesn't like it? But yeah, it's a underdog story where everyone has to evolve with the game or be left behind. It's a feel-good story. Who doesn't like that? But anyways, hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to catch you in the next one.